Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, January the 28th, and I am going to ignore the gray hair. It's time for me to get my hair retwisted and dyed. Oh, seems like I just had it done, but it's uh it's annoying me this morning because I can't hide it, and I didn't make. I need to make maybe some headbands to go across there for those times when it's starting to show a lot because it makes me look washed out in the front. And then the light is real bright for some reason this morning, so it's like if I cut the light off, it's too dark. I'll cut the light off because it's that shine on my is driving me nuts. Okay, it's better a little bit. All right, so I have a lot of stuff to show you guys. Like I said, I've been using my bush stitch to burn through a lot of the yarn that Barb sent me, the odd skeins or the skeins that didn't have labels, um, the yarn that was from Frog Projects. So I've been going through all that and taking care of and making scarves and hats and stuff from that yarn, and then that way I was saving the best for last to get started on. But this other yarn is in cakes, and I mean not cakes, but in skeins and balls, and so I can actually add that to my stash once I get through some more of my stash. If you look behind me, you can see there's more caked up yarn behind me. Last weekend I went to one of the um, knitting meetups with my knitting friend Ashley. You guys might see her pop in sometimes. Uprooted Fibers on some of my lives. But I went to the first knit meetup since pretty much since COVID for part of our group that used to be called Yarn for Breakfast. They might still be called Yarn for Breakfast. I don't know. But I haven't been there since COVID started, so that was a fun outing. It was nice to be around adults and to just be able to sit and knit and crochet because I had two projects with me that I took with me. Um, my sweater, my grandpa's sweater that I just started, which there's not much to show right now because I've been working on other projects trying to get them done. But I'll show you how far I've gotten so far. And I had a grandpa sweater and I had a scarf with me. I had this scarf with me. And this is, you can see the color. That's pretty good though. Actually, the color is pretty good. So this is a scarf made using bush stitch. It is I gotta weave in right there. But it was made using some Peyton's yarn that Barb sent that from a Frog project, and I used all of it in this scarf except for like maybe that much. I was playing yarn chicken, getting to the end. I'm trying to see if I can get that label real quick for y'all. Maybe I can't. Here it is. Okay. So it was Peyton's Classic Wool worsted, and the colorway was Plum Heather. And it's very true to its colorway. So whoever did the dye job for them for this did a very good job. So I finished this scarf, and I just gotta weave in that one. You know, I gotta weave in all the ends on it. So I just gotta weave in the ends. A lot of my stuff I will have a day where I just sit down and I just weave in the ends on a bunch of stuff. Then I also did this scarf, and this feels like Plymouth Encore. It didn't have ball bands on it, but it was a gray, two grays, the soft gray, and then a heather gray. but darker gray. And it feels just like Plymouth Encore, and it was in balls similar to Plymouth Encore. So this is what I believe it is. Which Plymouth Encore is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. Sometimes it's 75-25. It depends on which one it is, but yeah. And also bush stitch scarf. Like I said, I could burn through that yarn with that. And this one is the sheepish yarn from the Vicky Howe collection that Caron put out several years ago, and it's a nice yarn. And the color was turquoise, and it is singles. It's not applied yarn, but it knit up very well. It held together well. Let me see if I can get the 70% acrylic and 30% wool. But the acrylic was very high quality acrylic. Almost it felt silky to the touch, but it was like a light turquoise, and I didn't have the ball band for this darker blue. It's more like a blue green color. It's real pretty. But there was 2 partial skeins of this, and so I just made them into one scarf. Alright, and then the next project I had, it was like a bunch of hats from Bits and Bobs. Some of them, like this one right here, is let me see. You know what? No, this isn't Encore. This is the last of the there you go. Can't think right now. The Dollar Tree Premier Yarn. It was 4 skeins. So I did like the light gray, the dark gray, the light gray, the dark gray, the light gray. So 5 skeins. 5 skeins of that I had left. 1, let me see, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I had 5 skeins of that left. So that's what this is. This is the Premier yarn. I know I had one that was just blue and just gray. What did I do with it? Maybe I showed that already. Put it up. Oh well. So that's what this was. It's a long scarf. So it's real soft and pretty. Oh, it's because I had it folded up. That's why it looked like that. Okay. Never mind. I know why I thought it was that scarf. But that's the Plymouth Encore. The last of the blue, the last of the grays that I had in the, not Plymouth Encore, the last of the grays that I had in the Premier yarn from the dollar store. That was the last of that. This is some flecked. I don't know if you can see it. Some of the browns in it, but it has flecked. So this is definitely Encore because I actually had some of this in my stash and I matched it up to it. So this, I made this into a hat, and like I said, I haven't woven in the ends, but these projects are finished until I feel like weaving in the ends. One day I'll just sit down and weave in the ends. And this was another one of the Encore. It's this real pretty brown. I know the colors aren't showing up that good, but like I said, that top light on is just too distracting for me. But this is pretty much true to color. That's brown. It's nice chocolate, pretty brown. And when you go out in the sun, it has it will like reflect some of the sunlight, and you'll see like some little reddish brown tones in the fiber. Alright, and then this was some real pretty red. It looked like the Brava worsted from Knit Picks. Like you see how red it is. It's more of a Christmassy cherry red than this red that is showing up on camera. This is not as bright as this red is showing up on camera. And this is just like a little scarf somebody can put on around the neck, or maybe somebody can put on to hide the gray in their hair. And so, and then this was another crochet hat. This is just a basic crochet beanie pattern with I did a half double crochet ribbing at the bottom. This was two different balls of a frog project, but it looked like it's the same yarn. It could be two different yarns, but it looked like the same yarn. And I'm pretty sure this is some of that Michael's yarn that they have, that bulky yarn. But it was enough to do a hat, so hey. And then I have the ball band for one of, one of these. Deal with the rustling and I'll find it. Here it is. And it is the Kaleidoscope yarn from Loops and Threads. One of the Michael's yarns. And it was, the color was called Deep Night. I don't see what's Deep Night about it, but there was a partial skein of it, which I made into this child size hat. And then there was a whole skein, which I made into this hat right here. So this was, like I said, I've been going through that yarn that Barb sent me, and that's what all of these projects were made from. I just need to weave in the ends on some of them, and then I'll add them over there to my stash that I use when I give stuff to people, or if our daughter taught me into going to an event, and I'll take some of that with me to sell. So yeah. Those are most of the projects that I've finished. Okay, so next I started this on Monday. Yeah, I started this on Monday, before work, and I finished it. Now remember I told y'all that my granddaughter was eyeing my sparkly purple yarn. And so I had to order her some sparkly purple yarn to make her jacket. And so it was the sparkly purple yarn, which is Hobby Lobby, Grapette. And then there's the lavender, which is Joann's, Big Twist in lavender. And I use that for the trim and for the ribbon on the bottom of her sweater and for the ribbon on the sleeves. So her purple sparkly sweater turned out beautifully. It fits her very nicely. And I'll put the link to the site that I got this pattern from. It's a YouTube video that I got the pattern from. The only thing that I did different is I joined, like, she stopped her ribbon, her ball band, her ribbon, like right here on the, you see how the corner fits? Well, she stopped hers right there. She didn't let these join up. I joined them up because I thought they looked neater. And I also did a half double crochet rib for the neckline and the bottom of the sweater, because it pulled in the neckline more. But Luna still has room to grow, and if she hits a big growth spurt, then I could always remove the cuff. And then I wrote down how many rows I did, how many stitches were in this part of the sweater. It was 28 half double crochet stitches in this part of the sweater. So I know I wrote it down, so I have it written down in my book, so that if I need to take this cuff out and make the sweater longer, I could do the same. I would have to, the only thing about it is I would have to unpick the whole, actually I could just pick up the ribbon at the bottom to make it longer at the bottom. And yeah, so, or I could just cut it off, unwind all the lavender yarn, and then redo the collar and the button bands. And the button band is, I didn't do it the same, like on the right side it's half double crochet, just half double crochets, and I switched to a G7 hook, which is a 4.5, to do the ball bands and to do the ribbon. I use a smaller hook, and that kind of pulled it in more too, to make sure that neckline wouldn't be too wide. And then on the other side, the side that the buttons are going to go through, I did one row of half double crochet, I did a row of double crochet, and then I did another row of half double crochet, because the row of double crochet is the row that the buttons will fit through. So I'm very pleased with how this sweater turned out. And so now my grandbabies have gotten sweaters from grandma for this winter. And the buttons, her mom, who's an artist, is making the buttons. I've shown her work on my videos before, and so she does clay projects as well. And so I can show you. Okay, this is one of her clay bowls that she made, and she gave it to me. She did a series of these clay bowls, and I have 2 or 3 of these. She's learning how to do different clay techniques and stuff, and I get to get some of her things she makes from it. But like I said, I really enjoyed this sweater. It was fast and easy, and it's attractive. And I'm thinking that I might want to do an adult size crochet one, but I got to do a lot of math to figure out how to get it to work for me, because they'll only show like the child. I have some books that I can pull a sweater from. Hopefully they will fit me. I just like having something to throw on at work. Like, we can't wear hooded jackets unless they change that at work. So that's why I have my black sweater that I showed y'all, where the sleeve up here is coming apart. So yeah, so I definitely want this to be a very nice sweater to keep on the back of my chair, and it was so easy to make. So I might be trying to figure out, do the math for this to be an adult size sweater. So this is the book, my book that I put all my notes and stuff in for stuff that I like or stuff that I'm practicing and working on. And this is the notes from when I did my grandson's sweater over here. These are the notes from when I did Chunk's little sweater and hat. And so Luna's sweater pattern stuff is right here. But I changed a bunch of the numbers, so I wrote it down on this piece of graph paper I have taped to my desk, so I gotta write it down over here to go with this. And then I can start trying to figure out the numbers for doing an adult size based on the numbers I did for Luna, she'll be 4 on May the 2nd. Can you believe that little girl gonna be 4, y'all? So yes, I really enjoyed doing her sweater, and I can't wait for the buttons. Her mom said they're gonna be star shaped buttons. I don't know what color she's gonna have them be when she glazes them, but hopefully they'll be pretty. Now, what I'm currently working on right now, I have 4 projects that I'm actively working on. One would get done today because I have to do a live video to finish that one. The other one is my grandpa sweater from Hohi Locatelli, and this is how far I've gotten. I've gotten to the part where you take apart the provisional cast on. You take and you pick up those stitches, and you add your stitch markers. That's where I'm at with the pattern right now. And the yarn, remember the yarn I'm using is this Knob Hill yarn called Nova. 100% acrylic. It's a bulky weight, made in Turkey, and the colorway is multi-red, and it's definitely multi-red. It looks purple in there, but it's like a burgundy. It's like a cherry, dark cherry, burgundy colors in there, so it's real pretty. Alright, so that is the project that I'm going to be working on when I go to my knit groups and stuff. And I'll probably do some work on it at home, because I really want to get that sweater finished too. before I start on the crochet sweater for me. The other thing I'm getting ready to finish is the bush stitching around hat that I started last weekend. So I'm going to finish that today. I'm going to do a little quick live this morning and finish that. And I cast on some hand spun. This hand spun, this yarn was part of a kit that Echo View Fiber Mill provided for their Spinzilla that I participated in with their fiber mill. And when the yarn, it has like these little nips in it, these little white nips. I don't know if y'all can see that. These little white, teeny white bumps. So those are the nips that the yarn has in it, all throughout the yarn. And when you're knitting with it, you can actually feel those nips, and it makes the fiber feel rough. The fiber was actually very soft, but it's these nips that makes the fiber feel a little rough. And I'm hoping that that softens when I wash it. Like you could, there you go, you can see that nip, the little white flecks. But it's all throughout this yarn. And so, but this is how far I've gotten so far. And what I'm doing is I'm making the one row hand spun scarf by Stephanie Pearl McPhee, the Yarn Harlot. I love that pattern. It's simple, it's easy to knit. You don't have to think about what you're doing, and you get an attractive product at the end. So I've shown you guys that green scarf that I did for my brother from another mother, Ronnie, using this pattern to get the most out of the two balls of that Cascade yarn that I had, to make sure I could get the most yardage out of that I could. And so this is a hand spun. You can see some of the pink tones in it. In the yarn is grays. There's brown sections. There's sections with other colors, I think. I don't remember. I bought this up a couple weeks ago. I should have took a picture of it before I bought it up, but you'll see it in the scarf, and I will see it in the scarf as it unfolds. But this is actually me. Can you believe it? I am using some of my hand spun. So, and my husband will end up with this scarf, unless my daughter steals it from me. And that, oh yeah, I have some Happy Mail too. I have to open it. This is from Dee Dee Willingham, and she gave me a prize for me telling her that the dips in the lid for one of her inks is for to rest your whatever implement you're using, whether it's a brush or a pencil or whatever you're dipping into that ink to use. Dip pen is to rest that instrument on there, so it's not laying on the table. Don't accidentally drop it on your paper or whatever. It's in a place where it's secure. It's not going to roll away, and it can, if any of the ink drips, it can drip back into the little bowl of the cap, the lid. So she sent me a prize, and where are my scissors? Y'all gonna have to excuse me a minute, but my throat is dry. My husband, Luna, came home with the creeping crud, and now my husband has the creeping crud. He been coughing at night, but no fevers or nothing like that. Just a cough and postnasal drip kind of stuff, like just a little virus they're running through. And now my throat is starting to feel sore and itchy. Like you want to go that noise you make when your throat's itchy. I love water. I drink it all the time. I probably told y'all that before, but I'm trying to find my scissors. They should have been right here on my desk. There you go. So I'm gonna open this up and see what Dee Dee sent me. She taped it up real good. She wanted to make sure nobody got into it. Hopefully I don't cut it, whatever it is. Okay, if I can get my finger in there, I can tear it the rest of the way. And Dee Dee Willingham, I'll post a link in the description box for her site as well. I've known her online probably for over 10 years now, and if not a little bit longer. But she is a wonderful artist. She does paper, mostly she does paper crafts and paper art and drawing, and she's an amazing artist, calligraphy and brush lettering and all kinds of stuff. And she does photo shoots with Barbie dolls, um and collages, amazing collages that she does. She sent me some fabric, and it has some slow stitches on it. It's there. See, that's what it looks like. And Dee Dee, I do not sew. But I guess I could put it on. I could use it for like a handkerchief, or put it on my desk to as a backdrop for when I'm doing stuff to put over my desk. But I do not sew. But thank you. I appreciate you, and I will find a way to use this since it came from you. But yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll use it as a backdrop on my desk for when I'm painting and stuff like that, because it feels like a fabric that I could just throw in the washing machine. So she said, "Thanks for being a part of my stream." Yeah, and then that's what she sent me. Nice. I'm gonna sit over here with my drop spindles. And as far as purchases, the only purchases I made of late, I haven't made any yarn purchases since I went to Michael's the other day to get the yarn. I showed y'all that yarn. I don't even remember what I bought now. Oh, I know. It's over there. That purple variegated yarn. And then that ball of that yarn I wanted to try from Caron. So, but I still have another trip to Michael's to make, because I got to get 2 skeins of pink yarn to do that. I wrote her information down. Where is that book at? I can't keep track of nothing today. But trying not to knock down my acrylic. There we go. Alright, so Addie Crazy Craft Adventures, I'm gonna do a pink scarf for breast cancer and send to her. One of her friends, she has some friends who've had breast cancer or have recovered from breast cancer, but I'm gonna make a scarf and send to her. It's gonna be that crochet one with the ribbon in it, or I might do the knit one, depends on how fast I feel like going. And I want to send it to her. And then there's a cable cat hat tutorial that Dustin, I'll post a link to his tutorial as well. He is a Korean yarn shop owner and knitwear and crochet wear designer. He makes bags, some beautiful, gorgeous handmade crochet bags. They are amazing. I'm not a purse person, but his purses are beautiful. So, but I'll post a link to Dustin's channel as well. Actually, you know what? Let me write this down, because y'all know with all this stuff in my room, I get distracted. And then 1 minute I'm knitting, 1 minute I'm crocheting, and then I want to zone out and spin, or I'm playing my video game. So let me make myself a note, my little book here. Oh yeah, and so yeah, here's this tag for this yarn. It's Spinzilla 2016 3-ply Ecoview Fiber Mill. Their mystery box, and it's 286.89 yards. So that's what all the info on this yarn that I'm knitting. And look, you can see one of the other colors right there bleeding through. It's like a blue. It's like a blue right through there. So the blue is going to be the next main color that comes through after this brownish gray. Alright, so add Dustin channel link. I'll add Crazy Crafter Adventures in case one of you guys also want to make a breast cancer awareness scarf. And I'll post a link to the pattern. And what else did I say I was going to link? And Ecoview Fiber Mill went out of business. Well, they closed down this summer. Um, so the mill is no longer open. And that's where I got the last of my fleeces when I had a bazillion fleeces. That's where I got all my fleeces, last of my fleeces processed at after Windswept Farms shut their mill down. I only have like 2 partial fleeces. They were well skirted by my friend in Ohio, Scio, Ohio. Um, I only have 2 of her fleeces left that I need to process, and I'll probably be doing that over the summer when it's warm and I can make sure it gets dry fast. So, Girl Who Walks with Goats on Instagram. That's her Instagram name. Her name is Katie. And I'll put a link to her as well. She had roving. She had some of the fleeces from her flock processed into roving. But you could also get raw fleece from her. And I've been very happy with what I've gotten from her. In prepping it, I got some of it prepped in batch to spin. So I've been very happy with her fleeces. And other than buying like braids of fiber when I go to like Maryland Sheep and Wool and stuff now, I only buy fleeces, raw fleeces from Katie now, because they're going to be well skirted. The animals are treated well. Um, they're pretty much range fed, other than in the wintertime when she's adding to their feed and stuff. And she's the shepherdess. She's the one who takes care of them, make sure they get their shots and all this other stuff. Um, I'll try to support her by trying to get fleece from her, but I'll probably get roving because I've done the processing your own fleeces. I did it for several years, and I'm over it. I'd rather be able to just sit down and spin now. So, except for getting it from Katie, I try to buy just the processed fiber now, and it's easier to store. Yeah, because my fleeces, I actually pull them out and put eyes on them every couple of months to make sure nothing has, and they're in plastic bags and stuff, but bugs can chew through stuff, and I don't want to risk getting bugs into my stash. So my stash gets rotated, looked at, pulled apart, reorganized often. Girl Who Walks with Goats, that's her Instagram channel name. She needs to do a YouTube channel. Alright, so that is all that's going on with me. I want to knit one of those cat in the hat. Well, remember when Trump became president, the women had that pink pussycat hat march on Washington, D.C. I made several of those hats and gave them away. And I had one where my friend, we traded in her banana nut bread. She wanted one of those hats. So, and her, I think it was gluten free. I can't remember. But Ashley makes the bomb Hawaiian stuffing. It's got like pork, gizzards. It's got ham, gizzards, livers, in it, and cloves. This stuff is freaking amazing. And she usually makes some for me, and I give her hand spun. Sometimes I make my cornbread for Evan. I didn't do that this year, and I'm sorry, but I should make him some just to make up for it. But yeah. So, and the stitch I want to try in February is the double moss stitch. I saw that, and I want to make a scarf or something with that. But I want to use my hand spun, so I got to finish this one first. As soon as I finish that one, I'll cast on another scarf. with the double moss stitch with my hand spoon. So yeah, but that's all that I have going on right now. So I hope you guys have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves, and I gotta clean up my desk so I can finish this tutorial. Y'all take care.